Hello students, today we are going to start democratic politics. You can say it civics or political science. Now we will start first chapter, that is power sharing. Now what is power sharing? Definition of power sharing. Power sharing is idea based on the democratic principles of transferring of powers and responsibilities from a central government to the constituent units. Or we can say power sharing is a system of policy of political arrangement in which power is shared between organs of the government, between the different levels of the government, social groups, and different political parties. Power sharing is explained here with the two examples of countries in which one country shares its power and another one does not share its power. Then what happened to both of the countries? First example is given here of Belgium. It is a small country in Europe with a very complex ethnic group or composition. This country consists of diverse set of peoples, surrounded by France, Netherlands, Germany, and Luxembourg. In Belgium, 59% people speak Dutch, 40% people speak French, and rest 1% people speak German. And in Brussels, the capital city of Belgium, 80% people speak French and only 20% people speak Dutch. The French-speaking people, despite being a minority, have been more prosperous than the Dutch-speaking people. This has led to tension between the two countries in the past from 1950s to 1960. In order to deal with the religio-cultural differences within the country, Belgium worked out a final constitution in 1993, which made clear-cut arrangement for power sharing. Now, power sharing arrangement in Belgium. The Belgian leader recognized the existence of regional and cultural differences, so they amended their constitution 4 times, which would enable everyone to live together within the same country. No single community can make decision on its own. The central government has equal number of Dutch-speaking and French-speaking representatives. Special legislations are made with the consent of the majority from both the groups. The state government have been made independent of the central government. The third kind of government, called the community government, exercises jurisdiction over linguistic, educational, and cultural matters. This government is elected by the people of the same community only, that is, Dutch, French, and German speaking, irrespective of their places of living. The capital city Brussels has a separate government in which both groups have equal representatives. Therefore, Belgium has served as a complicated yet successful example of power sharing. As with the help of these provisions, it has fought several conflicts and damages to the unity of the country. Now, another example is of Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is an island nation just a few kilometers off the southern coast of Tamil Nadu. Now its ethnic composition is as follows. Sri Lanka has a diverse population with 74% of Sinhala speakers and 18% of Tamil speakers, and other is 8%. The two subgroups of Tamil are Sri Lankan Tamil and Indian Tamils. Most of the Sinhala speakers are Buddhist and most of the Tamil speakers are Hindu or Muslims. Now, power sharing in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka became an independent country in 1948. Before its independence, there emerged a wave of vegetarianism as Sinhalas, being the majority, established supremacy in the government. This led to a number of policies which favored Sinhalas over Tamils. As a result of this, the Tamil population started feeling discriminated against with respect to social and economic opportunities. This feeling developed into a full-fledged sense of alienation. Tamil believed that their culture and language would eventually disappear. So they raised the following demands for their security in the country. Number one, recognize Tamil as an official language, regional autonomy, and equality of opportunity. Several political parties and groups started demanding a separate state for Tamil in north and east part where they are in majority. This conflict between the two groups emerged into a full-fledged civil war and led to a great loss of lives and livelihood of both sides. Many were displaced and many became refugees. Now we can compare both the countries. In Belgium, government decided to share power to the regional government to promote unity and stability in the country. And Sri Lanka continues to not to share powers equally with all the communities. This forceful domination of majority community can threaten the unity of the country. Advantages of power sharing. Power sharing can ensure peace and integrity of the country. Power sharing between different socio-cultural groups in our country can help maintain the stability of the political order and peace within the country. Power sharing strengthens the spirit of democracy. Power sharing ensures wider participation of the people. This in turn strengthens the spirit of democracy, brings people closer to the administration and assign greater legitimacy to the government. Now next is reasons of power sharing. There are two main reasons, prudential reasons and moral reasons. Prudential reasons reduces possibility of conflicts and bring stability and unity of the country. And moral reasons, it kept alive the spirit of democracy and people have the right to be consulted on how they are to be governed. There are two types of power sharing. It can be different from country to country. First is horizontal division of power and another one is vertical division of power. Horizontal division, the legislature, the executive and the judiciary. It is called system of check and balance. No single institution can arbitrarily act on its own, even though the ruling party exercises control over the executive. The ministers are still answerable to the parliament. At the same time, no organ of the government can encroach into the jurisdiction of the other. India represents a perfect example of separation of powers. Vertical division. This refers to a system where the powers are divided between central and state government. This federal division of power in countries like Canada, India, US, Belgium is clearly laid down in the constitution. Some countries like India have a third level of government called municipality or panchayat. That's all for this chapter. Thank you, students.